Calling to order the Diamond Lake School District 76 Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, May 1st. Roll call, please.
Cornell? Here. Hale?
Here.
Elton? Here. Kessler? Condell?
Here.
Walker?
Yeah. Here. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we open the floor for any comments from the public on our agenda items. Do you have any comments this evening? Having no comments, we'll turn the floor to the superintendent for presentations.
Thank you. Tonight we are recognizing students, staff, and community members who are contributing to our district. And I want to call out first Ms. Willard, who has some students who would like to take some time to recognize.
Hello.
Well, good evening and welcome. Thank you, Dr. Sherman Lewis, members of the Board of Education. Distinguished guests, we're glad to have everybody here. It's always fun to recognize students. That's our business, and we really take great pleasure in it. This young man who we're going to begin with tonight, listen to the name because I think you're going to hear it the next 2 years also. But Ethan Thomas qualified for the IESA State Wrestling Tournament this year again, after last year, Coach Burgos. Did an outstanding job. We want to say congratulations, and we know next year you'll be on that podium, and by 8th grade you'll own it. So come on up. Mr. Burgos, you want to come up for a picture, please? I think you're great.
We'll go right here. All right. Very good.
We're going to transition to our Diamond Board speakers. We're waiting for a few more students to arrive, but I have Mr. Williford to stay here because he is recognizing one of his staff members.
Thank you again, Dr. Sherman Lewis. I'm excited for this one. As a former wrestling coach, wrestling, it's a great sport. They're all great sports, but wrestling is always a second citizen. It's a stepchild. You're put in a closet, in a hallway, you go to a different school. It's not very glamorous. Well, we proved them wrong, didn't we? This is great. This year, we worked with Fremont School District 79, Dr. Sherman Lewis, members of the Board of Education may recall, and we did what's called a co-op. The co-op allows students from both schools to represent one school. We chose to be the home school and the host school. Students from Fremont came over, joined our team. They represented West Oak, wrestled under our school, if you will, mascot, and it was a great success. So I'd like to read what I wrote for Mr. Burgos, our wrestling coach. I saw tireless hours and long days, and I don't know how many tournaments in about 2 months' time, but an outstanding job. And I felt obliged because this was a new twist we put on Greg, but it was also because the Fremont athletic coordinator wrote a beautiful email praising Mr. Burgos, and I couldn't agree more. And so, if you will, please, This year, West Oak Middle School and Fremont Middle School worked collaboratively through a co-op for the wrestling season. The co-op allows students from two schools to combine into one team, ensuring a season of participation. West Oak Middle School served as the home team, with students from Fremont joining the wrestling team. The wrestling coach, Mr. Burgos, welcomed this opportunity and embraced the two schools as one. Mr. Burgos led the program with enthusiasm, passion, and dedication. The wrestlers worked as a team throughout the season. It was seamless. Mr. Burgos maintained open communication with the students, parents, and administration of both schools. He worked tirelessly this season with practices, meets, and tournaments. In fact, 2 wrestlers from the team who qualified for the IESA state tournament, 1 from each school. The season was successful due to great efforts from Mr. Burgos, and we are lucky to bring him.
Sorry, yes.
And I'd like to just thank you. Now our students are here, so welcome. Every year we have an opportunity through the Lake County Regional IPA, Illinois Curriculum Association, to recognize 2 students for outstanding talents, perseverance, dedication to academics, and really just being outstanding human beings, wonderful young ladies this year. And I'm very pleased. We went to Vernon Hills High School, had a beautiful breakfast, and had a special recognition. This year our recipients are Georgia Bustos and Grace Kaplan, and it's just only good fitting to get recognized by our board of them as well. So please come on up, girls.
So as all of you know, we recognize staff each month for the Diamond Awards, but this is unique for this month, where we had a colleague ask if she could recognize her entire team for all of the efforts that they put forth this year and doing what's best for kids. So I couldn't resist that one, and I saved it for the last meeting, and I thought it was really appropriate after the phenomenal presentation we had last board meeting with the instructional leadership team and how well they work together as a team to collaborate on curriculum, on instruction, just professional development and everything that they do daily. So this is a great opportunity for me to introduce Ms. Shelley Salzman, who would like to say a few words about her team and recognize them at the Diamond Award.
Good evening. What do you say about this awesome group of people that hasn't already been said? I've had the privilege of being on the 6th grade team for almost 2 years now, and not a day goes by that I don't thank my lucky stars for the people I work with. This team puts their heart and soul in everything they do here at school, from planning, teaching, helping kids, subbing, flexing days, completing agenda items, and just being an all-around good group of people. This team will bend over backwards and do what needs to be done. This school year has had many difficulties: sickness, new babies, loss of loved ones, and plenty of personal struggles. But I can tell you not once has any of these outside concerns been brought into the classroom with the kids. If anything, we use each other to get through these difficult times. When one of us is in need of support, guidance, or help, we all step in as a team and say, what can we do to help? This is a team that spends most of their free time together. If you can't find one of us, it's probably because we're all together in the same room. From mornings with Shelley before the bell rings, playing periods, lunch at the cool kids table, and even spending time outside of school together with our families. I don't think you can find a closer team than us. Our team is not always perfect, and we don't always see eye to eye on everything, but we figure out the best solution to our problems and work together to solve what we can, when we can. I can honestly say that this is the reason I come to school with a smile on my face. This group of people sitting in the stands with you. They make my life easier. We work together to get the job done. And I love my job, I love what I do, and I love the kids I teach, but I love it even more because of this group of teachers. Thank you, and 6th grade team, for all that you do. Carly, come on up. Carly Solar. Megan Mandra. Jenny Kroll. Neil Hack. Erica Webb. Jacqueline Silke. Diana Enriquez. And Bree Pilot, but she's not here. Okay. Yeah, just look at it, just figure it out.
Every great team has a great leader. So we, as the administration, Mr. Williford and I would like to recognize Ms. Shelley Salzman with the Diamond Award for leading this great team and keeping them all together. So thank you, Shelley.
You're not going to get closer. Okay.
And now I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize a community agency that's worked really closely with our district for the past year and one of our administrators. I think many of you know that we started the community platform this year, and that idea really originated with a conversation that Cynthia and I had after a board meeting one night of how she felt that it would really be beneficial if we were able to provide resources for our families at no cost. That items that maybe other families weren't needing anymore, weren't using anymore, and just be able to have our own type of a closet as a resource for our community. So I shared that idea with Ms. Zeman last summer. And as you all know, she took that idea and ran with it. It started out as maybe a couple of boxes of clothes, and now it's in a room about half this size. It's taken on a life of its own. It's run every Saturday, and we've expanded it now to the entire Fremont community in Lake County. And one of the organizations that works with children in need, Mother's Trust, took notice of what Ms. Zeman was doing and contacted her and asked how they could work together. And then a few weeks ago, Mr. Williford and I had the honor of attending one of their recognition events. They've been in business for 20 years, and it all originated with a few caring people out of Lake Forest, whose sole purpose is just to serve children of Lake County. They offer scholarships, they give out grants, and they just make opportunities possible for children of need. And at that meeting, Ms. Zeman was recognized with the Heart of Gold Award and then a cash donation from two of the supporters of Mother's Trust. So I invited them here because we were so touched and moved by it, and I really want the board to hear how this idea started with you at this level and it's grown because of the leadership and the dedication and the commitment of Ms. Neiman and the community. So I'm just glad we can provide this service and the resource, and I hope it just continues to grow classes. So at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Sibling from Mother's Trust, and then her colleagues, Mr. Menzer and Mr. Tabor, to come and say a few words about the organization and why they selected Ms. Neiman.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us here. We are very happy to be here to explain how we took note at Mother's Trust of what Tracy Neiman was doing. Actually, Mr. Tabor here brought it to my attention that we might want to take notice of something really positive that was going on in Diamond Lake School District. Mother's Trust serves children 21 or under throughout Lake County. I cross throughout the county all the time, and we work with all the different school districts, different social service agencies, and I see quite a lot. When I came out and first met with Tracy last summer, one of the social workers from Waukegan High School was with me, and when we left, her name is Lori Hybeck, she said, all she could say was, wow, okay, I gotta do this. I'm gonna step up my game. She's got it like really together, and it's only been a short period of time. In Waukegan, they've been doing it for quite some time, and it still wasn't up to par. So Tracy and I had been dialoguing and came out to see the plaza, and I brought it back to our committee, and our volunteers were so inspired that one of them now volunteers at the closet with Ms. Seaman. So, and she comes from Highland Park out here so that she can volunteer. So it's quite a wonderful thing to see. It's what our organization was built to help other organizations. So concept is not to have a handout and a hand up. And this is a wonderful example of how to do that. The Heart of Gold Award for Mother's Trust is meant for someone who goes above and beyond, which many people do, but above and beyond with joy, great joy. And I think that fits Stephen very well. But I'm going to let you to tell.
That every other year, we thought this is a great opportunity, and when we got here, we decided this is a great model for everyone. So we're hoping to see it replicated in other places, but we can tell the joy that Tracy took away from each of those sessions. So it's a great program. Matt, go ahead.
Of course. When we came to do our monitoring visit for the homeless program, and Tracy was telling us about the closet, and she was so excited and said, "You want to see the closet? Come on. She took us back there, and with such enthusiasm and excitement that she showed that to us. And as Jim said, that we came and spent a day at the program, and it was great. As part of our outreach program, community outreach program, with the federal funds that we have in our program, we were able to give $1,000 to the program to continue the work of the community closet, and we know it's going to go to great use and really fits in with the job of making sure that the community is, the schools and the communities are working together. So congratulations, Tracy. We're glad to do it.
All right, Tracy, would you like to come on, or Lacey, would you like to come on up and then just say a few words and bring your words so we can share with the board?
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do the closet. Because of Mother's Trust, we actually are now in the Fremont Township glass that goes up. And we've gotten inquiries from Sparrows, Bernie, for donations just for when we're open. We linked up with Top Box, which provides food for families as well, so that has been a great opportunity for families too. It's very rewarding to see families come in and take what they need, and just the expressions on their faces when they find out that there's no cash register at the end of the tunnel. You can just take what you want to go. And we get a lot of families who come back. The last week we had the biggest turnout so far. So we're hoping that it's going to get bigger and bigger, and we can branch out and do it. I'd love to have it set up every day so we can service families when they need, and not just on our schedule, but that's to come. We need the space. But again, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you so much for just the recognition and for the donation, because it's going to go a long way for our families.
Jonathan, we don't have flowers for you, but I would like to give Ms. Zuling a very small token of the board's and the leadership team's appreciation for all the strides you've done for that thing. So thank you very much. And our last recognition for the evening, I'd like to introduce Mr. Woodford again to recognize one of his staff members for the Fuse Grant.
Thank you, Dr. Sherman.
So, last year, we blew it. Ms. Kluger sent an email and said, I need some help in getting a letter written or something, and just didn't get it done. This year wasn't going to let that happen. So Ms. Kluger put an email out and shared it with myself and some others and said, hey, we want to try for a Fuse grant. This is an opportunity to bring STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, math into our school even more. So we weren't going to let that pass. And so talking with Polly, wrote a letter. Next thing you know, she's like, hey, we got a phone call coming. So we had to take a phone call with Dr. Sherman Lewis, Mrs. Klugers, and myself, and they asked us a bunch of questions. How would you use it? Why are you interested? Where would it be? Would it be open to all students or only select students, etc.? So our goal was we want to expand our STEAM opportunities for all of our children as best we can with the resources that they'll provide that will accrue, and then be able to put it together. So we got this letter. It says, congratulations. The Fuse program has been approved, or excuse me, has approved your application for West Oak Middle School for a 2018 Fuse grant supported by CompTIA. Our team was impressed with the quality of your application, your thoughtful approach to implementing Fuse, and your dedication to providing innovation and impactful experiences for young people. Now comes the fun time. This grant will include site license for the Fuse Innovative Package, which supports up to 35 students at a time and can be offered multiple periods per day. This is worth $20,000. You know, we have website access for our youth and our facilitators. We will have professional training, 2-day training in Chicago, year-round implementation support, and a renewal fee for the second year at $6,000, and then $800 towards materials. So our expectation is to implement the program with integrity, provide Fuse with robust feedback, but more importantly, give children the opportunity to explore their world in the future. And it really comes down to the great dedication and hard work by you, Mrs. Kluger. Please come on.
I've been waiting.
Everybody knows that I like different projects and building, etc. But I like to inspire kids to do their own building and creative projects. So I'm looking forward to implementing this Fuse program. Thank you. Thank you for your smooth, silk voice during that interview process. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yours isn't silky, but it was very forceful and yes, we're going to do this. So it all played a part. So thank you very much, everyone. I forgot to present Zeman with your flowers. And that ends our presentations for the evening, so I know that there's some families and staff members that would probably like to go home and get ready for work at school tomorrow, so thank you everybody for coming, and we appreciate all that you do for our district and the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So it's time for our business agenda. These items are items for discussion and for votes for actions at a future meeting. First item up is the resolution for the board meeting dates for 2018 and 19. Whereas the Open Meetings Act requires such public body to give public notice of its schedule of dates, times, and places for the meetings in the individual's calendar of fiscal year, and whereas sections 10, 16, and 16 of the school code require each school board and its organizational meeting following each biennial election members to set time and place for the board's regular meetings. Therefore, be it resolved that the Sunday School Board of Education approves their 2018-19 calendar, allowing for monthly meetings to be held at Western Middlesville, 5:30 to 8 month, 8:49 on the line on the first and third Tuesdays of each month, except where noted, which will be July and December 2018. Discussion on this item?
The same format that we always follow, with the first and the Tuesdays of the month. I believe there's one meeting, I believe it's November, we do not have an election day, which is November 6th, but that was the second and fourth, which worked out well because the third is also, the third Tuesday is right before Thanksgiving, and it's the week off of school, so it's for the best to do it the second and fourth Tuesday of November. That's an exception.
So, all right, this item will be an action at the meeting on May 18th. The next item has to do with the appointment of a treasurer, whereas the school code instructs the trustees of schools to appoint a treasurer who shall be the custodian of school funds and responsible for all receipts, disbursements, and investments in school funds, and these orders issued by the school board. And whereas Mr. Eric Rogers was in the position of Director of Finance and Operation on July 1st, 2018, and possesses the qualifications set forth in section 500 of the school code. Therefore, be it resolved, Diamond Lake School District Board of Education appoints Mr. Eric Rogers to serve as treasurer for Diamond Lake School District 76 for a one-year period beginning July 1st, 2018, for the annual compensation of $3,000. Discussion on this item?
I just want to share that $3,000 is included in Mr. Rogers' current salary. It's not in addition to.
And it's the same level it was
Previous year.
Any other questions, comments? All right, next item. Students Title I. Be it resolved, the Board of Education of Diamond Lake School District 76 approves the Title I district-wide improvement plan as presented. Discussion on this item? This is, all of these are annual requirements that they're formalities, but the district-wide improvement plan is required on an annual basis because we accept Title I grants specifically.
Great, yes.
So there's no change to that. Okay. Other questions or comments? All right, moving right along. Next item has to do with health and dental rates. Whereas the District 76 Insurance Committee has met and considered recommendations from Allied Benefit Systems for insurance rates for fiscal year 19 for the plan year beginning July 1st, 2018. And whereas the insurance committee has provided a recommendation for rates approved by the board, therefore be resolved, Diamond Lake 76 Board of Education approves establishment of health and dental rates as presented. Discussion on this item.
Mr. Rogers, did you want to provide a quick summary or?
Yep, so the insurance committee met on Tuesday, April 24th. So we'd like to have just one of its representatives from each school. Unfortunately, the Fairhaven representative canceled last night. So we still had 4 members there, 2 from Diamond Lake, 2 from West Oak. And really, we had a representative from Allen to walk us through all our claims history, kind of a history of the cooperative that we're part of, which is the Lake Region Benefits Cooperative. And overall, being self-insured, we had a good history of claims this past year. And, you know, I think it's just it's tested the last couple of years. We've kind of been working towards, I don't know, whether it be wellness goals or things like that. We've had low claims history. We've had a lot of good stretch. And we've done a good job of building up our fund balance and our reserves. So I know this is a change from what we've been historically. We've had a pretty low reserve balance. And I know, you know, Colette did a good job of supporting the committee to build that. So we're moving in an upward trajectory right now. And based on the proposed 3% rate for medical and 5% for dental, we're still planning on reducing, it's going to reduce the overall out-of-pocket cost for teachers, but at the same point, go up our reserve balance slightly. So we anticipate about $40,000 to be added to our reserves.
I'm sorry, can you just explain how it reduces the out-of-pocket for teachers?
Yes, it's a 3% increase for medical, but based on the contractual language right now, there's a board share amount, we refer to the board share amount, the amount that teachers give to use towards their insurance. So right now, it's $9,577, and the next year it's going to $10,200. So that's the pool of money they can use towards their insurance. So basically, you know, the insurance rates you can see in the memo are less than $10,200 amount they get. So anything extra is part of our reserves. And you know, based on that rate has been increasing faster than our costs. So the out-of-pocket costs for teachers go down. And really, it's a single, either regular PPO or high option PPO. There's no out-of-pocket costs right now that's covered. So the reduced out-of-pocket costs to the dependent care or family insurance. So it's kind of like our board share amount grows faster than our rates did this year. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
So the board share amount, that money comes from the operations budget?
Yes. So we give the teachers this much, if they don't use it, then we put those towards our reserves. So that's what we're.
And we're directed on how much to put in. Is it a requirement to put the 10% in? Or to 50,000, where you're eligible for stuff?
I'd have to check our policy. I know it's been a past practice. Traditionally it's about $1,000 per person a year that we put that in. So, usually insurance for a single person is about $9,000. This year it's $10,000. So we'd basically contributing that $2,000 for an individual. But anything extra with dependent care, there's a fairly large out-of-pocket cost for the individuals. So that's a portion that they contribute towards our total premiums. So I have to check to see if it's been a policy or if it's been more of a practice. So I'll give you that answer. As far as that additional amount is always on our reserve, as far as I'm aware.
And what is the recommendation on our reserve level?
It talks about different levels. I'm not sure exactly the page on the board packet, but as far as the insurance renewal packet, it's page 5. And it adds a reserve balance of 10, 30, 45, 60, 90 days. They recommend at least 60, and they'd like to be closer to 90-day balance. So based on our recommendation right now, it's just over a 60-day balance. It's 3% increase.
So we're increasing the reserve amount, and we're well within the recommended amount?
Correct, yeah, and we're doing better than we had in the past. Last year, we were at 45-day reserve roughly, so we're going past 60, and we're at about 70-day reserve balance. So we're building up our reserve, and that's just a direct correlation to our local claims history that we've had. So, being part of the co-op always limits our exposure, and the last 3 years, we've been a good bet in cooperating because we've had such low claims history.
Any other questions? This is also for action. The next item has to do with the Department of Meals. Be resolved, Diamond School District Board of Education approves preferred meal systems as the vendor for the pre-packaged frozen meals and related components of the 2018-19 school year at the rates listed below for an estimated annual cost of $193,414.90 for the first of up to 4 annual contract renewals to be negotiated yearly. The renewal rate for 2018-19 for breakfast is $1 by one, and lunch was $1.82. What does this mean about the West conversation you're having now?
This is really the last year of our renewal, so regardless, we don't have to bid next year. As this relates to Quest, we had some discussions, and I know that you're aware of that, probably more so the board at large. We had several discussions with Quest about potential partnerships, and that kind of revolves around intergovernmental agreements with some other districts. So right now, this falls directly in line with what our plan would be. It would be too early to start a partnership next year. We just don't have the infrastructure in there yet. So this would give us an entire year. We continue to prefer the last year of our agreement, and then if everything goes well, we just roll right into a new contract with hopefully a better food service option at that point. So it gives us a year plan, and it would fall right in line with the rest of our summer construction projects. So summer of 2019, we have this 2-building model, and along with that, we'd be able to do some renovations to our cafeteria over the summer.
And are there any changes to the contract from the current year to this next year? Having to do with features or quality or volume or anything? Or is it just the same?
I'd love to say they're still constantly improving, and that's what they tell me. There's not really, I would say as far as the food service options, there are bringing some different options like salads and things like that. So we're going to pilot that, some box salads, go with an option for a salad bar. So there's a couple things that we're going to, just try internally. But really, the contract reflects the cost of CPI increase in December. So we always look to bring some new recommendations, and anything that we can try, we're going to do so. We're going to try to do this summer, but we haven't in the past.
Will the change in rates, do you expect that to impact our free and reduced numbers at all, or in the way somebody can apply for grants and so on using those?
Yeah, really, the free and reduced numbers are district-wide, so it's not going to really be impacted by the bill. As far as our total district free and reduced percentage, they always look at from a district perspective. So it shouldn't affect anything else. The one thing that we're hoping from a grant perspective is we're still in the running the equipment grant for next year. So I applied for a $50,000 grant, and last I heard we were one of the finalists to receive that. So that would go towards applying money to our new food service models that we get. So steam trays, refrigeration, freezers. So anything that we need for a new partner goes outside of just having an oven and a fridge and a freezer right now. So we have to look at for grants. Disney's been pretty good at all.
This says that it's for the first one before a contract. Should it really be for the fourth?
Yes, that's what it should say. Yeah, it's the fourth. It's the last year of the contract. And I believe the memo reflects that. So I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the fourth year in our last year of our renewal. So we'll change that one.
Any other questions on this topic? All right, next up, our personnel items. We resolve that 976 Board of Education sets and approves the personnel items as depicted on the agenda. A new hire for K-12 dual language interventionist, 2 resignations, a school nurse and a learning associate, and 1 termination of administrative assistant. Do we have questions or comments?
The Hodges and Lucy letter was not, gives an error. That was reported. Sure, there's nothing.
It's the first page, staff has to read that letter, it's a resolution for the termination. Can you open it? Very traditional. There's attachments. Correct. Is that right?
Oh, it's okay. That's fine.
All right. This is related to
Take action on the first 2 items.
these are not T actions. These are these actions. Okay, so what Dr. Chamberlain was just saying is that we are going to have 2 actions this evening related to personnel. The first one has to do with acceptance of the one who hired a K-12 dual language interventionist and the resignation of the school Dunn Lake school nurse and the parenting learning associate. Do we have any comments or questions on those items? Do we have a motion to approve?
Hale?
Yes.
Bordeaux?
Yes.
Halpin?
Yes.
Gassler, yes. Candela?
Yes.
Gaffney?
Yes.
And Walker?
All right. Required to do this. So resolution having to do with the dismissal of educational support personnel employee for reasons other than reduction in force. Whereas the educational support personnel employee listed in this resolution is employed by the Board of Education of Adelaide School District number 76 during the 2017-18 school term. And whereas the Board of Education has received and reviewed information, reports, and recommendations from this administrative staff regarding the performance of the educational support personnel employees. And whereas the board has determined that the educational support personnel employees should be dismissed effective May 1st, 2018, for reasons other than reduction in force. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Education of Guidelines, Source Number 76 of the County of Illinois, that in Section 1, the following educational support personnel employee will be dismissed effective May 1st, 2018, for reasons other than reduction in force, as set forth in the notice of dismissal attached as Exhibit A and incorporated by reference. Random Reyes. The President and Secretary of the Board are authorized and directed to review the education support personnel employee a written notice of dismissal by first-class mail and certified mail in return received requested. Section 3, the superintendent or designee shall also deliver a copy of the notice to the educational support personnel employee personally with the signature receipt. A copy of the receipt is attached as Exhibit B and incorporated by reference. Section 4, the resolution is in full force and effect upon its passage. May we have a motion to approve? Well, is there? I guess maybe a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Castle? Yes. Yaffe?
Yes.
Bordeaux?
Yes.
Hale?
Yes.
Halpern?
Yes.
Candela?
Yes.
Walker?
That concludes our business agenda. Next up is board discussion. Looks like we're going to call for collaboration June 20th. Yes.
Yes, and right now we have Mr. Kessler, who has, and hopefully that's all to bring Mr. Kessler. It is the Wednesday after our June 19th board meeting, so June 20th is Wednesday, 6 o'clock. It'll be in the District 120 boardroom, and it's just going to be an informal meeting for about an hour. So we would like to board members from each district to attend. So if any of you are able to attend, just send me an email or let me know.
Any more discussion? We've had one through the information request.
And this is a duplicate from last meeting. So this is from April 10th, but we forgot to include the attachment response. So we just reattached it. So this is just a repeat from our last meeting.
Okay, notices and communications, the next article.
So that's part of the shirt article, she had over the district one back to their kind of spirit engineers of units, and they've now gone through a complete data and evidence-based hiring process using the same tool that we use. We just wanted to share that with you as just additional pieces of information. And then the April done that, which is our newsletter is attached. And the last attachment is our District 76 open house facility form that will be next Thursday, May 10th, prior to the fire concert that was held. So, we said some ways else out in the next couple of days, just reminding people send the fire sent out last week.
You said it's at 6, right?
Yes.
And the representation here as well.
I think you're right, that would be great. It's just an opportunity to share with the board, share with the public, just our progress this year on projects that have been made, the budget, and we're going to have some of the people from our architect, the recommendations of the new designs. So we're going to have those on bigger poster boards, so it'll be very much consumption. So maybe there should walk around and actually see what gyms will look like, what time gyms will look like, what orders of play and sales and that. So, we'll be able to see that, and I'm just going to do a very brief presentation of just the work that we've been doing the past 2 years and where we got to this point, and then our next steps for next month as well.
Do you have any initial ideas for initial
I think we'll just, like I said, just kind of get us open house and principals be available to answer questions. I think what we heard is that some parents have some questions about just 3-8 step, how the 2 buildings will run, with elementary outside middle school and under. So we will address some of those questions individually and make people feel a little more comfortable with the video.
Great. Anything else to address communications? At this time, we open the floor for any public comments on any other agenda items. Having no public comments, are there any others this evening? I would like to just acknowledge and celebrate the art consortium. I was able to visit the Mundelein one last week. It was delightful to see so many District 76 students represented from all 3 of our schools. It's fun and really, really impressive. I believe there was one this evening as well. Yes, it was probably wow.
Yes. It was also, I learned that the students more importantly, and it was nice to see how, the number of faculty to who are necessarily our teachers. So it was nice to see the support of the community.
Any others? Okay, at this time, the board will adjourn into executive session for the appointment of employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees in the district, including council district, including their testimony, evaluations, and career basis of council district. A motion to adjourn into executive session.
Hale.
Yes.
Bordeaux.
Yes.
Altman.
Yes.
Kessler, yes. Candela.
Yes.
Walker. Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for your time, everyone.